はい、HataQです。キングダムズ・オブ・アマラー、続きをやっていきましょう。この石って前にも見たことあるよね。なんか笛吹いて、なんか起きたやつだよね。ただマークが出てないから関係ないか、本当に偶然で同じオブジェクトがあるだけなのか。ちょっとわからないけど。まあなんかありゃ一応マークはつくでしょ。おー、どっから現れたの君。
I've been reviewing my notes of our last trip to Alabastra, and I've come to some startling conclusions about your death and Tiernock. I don't know exactly, but it must have been a tremendously powerful source of magic. So powerful that the Well of Souls couldn't help but pick up on it. You were attuned to the well in my lab, but Hugh's well captured your essence. The power in Bale seems to have been the missing element.What's more, I think that power is the source of the Prismere crystals. Something intelligent and malignant. The creature the Tuatha called Tiernock. Something incredibly powerful. I don't know if we even have a name for what she is.
これだけの選択肢あるから多分イベントだよね。偶然であれしたやつじゃないよね。
Something much, much worse. And judging by the growth of this Prismere, she's very close to coming into our world for good.Whatever Gadflow's been doing, it's all in order to bring her here. So you've got to stop him before it's too late. With tremendous difficulty. Even so, there weren't as many Tuatha here, and we used magic to keep us hidden. Magic which you provided, in fact. You never did explain where you got those fascinating little artifacts. I know the type. Lucky youth, peaked early, then crawled into a bottle and waited to die.I'm impressed you dragged him away from that bottle, but I wouldn't expect him to do any heavy thinking. When you and I came to Alabastra, we were looking for the source of the Prismere's power. I never found it, but I think you did, and that's why you died. You mean your deadly little shadow? I know her type. All smiles now, but it's just so she can get close enough to stick her knives in you.Octien, the man lacked vision. Can you believe all he wanted was his own personal immortality machine? Such a narrow-minded goal for a Templar. Still, he wasn't squeamish about what had to be done in order to develop the well. I suppose he paid well, too, if you'd consider that any reason to pursue the sciences. The frosted gem at the center of Alabastra, full of Prismere.But now it's a lot more full of enemies than it was when we snuck in there. Partial successes at best. They remember how to fight, but that's about all they're good for. Named them after an old nursery rhyme. Damn things are always moaning all the time. I thought it might shut them up to give them a name. My name is Ventrinio Desalini.And I am Professor Emeritus Abscondus of Post-Mortem Studies at the Edessa University. Of course, that was all before I began work on the Well of Souls. Such an important undertaking doesn't leave much time for other pursuits, you know. You don't remember it? Well, why dredge up the past? After all, you're fine now, aren't you? You're not the type to hold a grudge, right?Okay. We were in Alabastra getting Prismere. I never thought it'd be dangerous. At least not very. Oh, don't give me that look. Accidents happen, and you can't make an omelette without leaving a few corpses. I didn't know anything about you before you worked for me. Octien hired you and told me you were a resourceful assistant. That's all I know.You didn't like talking about yourself. Actually, you didn't like much of anything. Honestly, you were a terror to be around. But you've changed. I can tell. Before you died, you would never have been this diplomatic. You probably would have knifed me for answers by now. Oh, speaking of which, you left this in your room before you died. Take it. We were in Alabastra, and...I never thought it'd be dangerous. At least, not very. Oh, don't give me that look. Accidents happen, and you can't make an omelette without leaving a few corpses. Fine. We were collecting Prismere and Alabastra. We needed it to power the well, of course, and you got a wild idea to track down the source of the power. I tried to stop you. I really did. But you decided to sneak into Amethyst, and I wasn't about to get killed along with you. I spent days trying to get your corpse back, but to no avail. Much as I hate to admit it, I should thank Hughes for succeeding where I failed. The Well of Souls is a noble project. Yes, sacrifices have been made. Laws have been broken. People have died. And they will continue to die. Don't you see? That's exactly what I'm trying to prevent. How many have died in this war? Thousands. The bodies are shoulder deep in the battlefields, but for trying to cure it, they call me a monster?
俺の死ぬ前を知ってた人間ってことか。で、今、どっかに宝箱が映ってたような気がしたんだけど、気のせいか？あれなんか今映ってた背景に、なんか宝箱がちらっと映ってたような気がするんだけど、あれは何？たまたまそういう映像？あったよね。そうだよね。よし。で、これは何？もう話さなくていいのかな？いや、でもこっちも話した方がよくね？
Ventrinio insists on coming with me. Just as well. Someone should keep an eye on him. No telling where his true loyalties lie, or what he might do. I was going to sneak there by
まあ
myself.
このお姉ちゃんは覚えてんだよな。ちょいちょい出てきてる。
Following me. Don't worry. I'll make sure he's safe. Very noble. But we need to stay separate in order to avoid drawing too much attention. The gnome is more than enough for me to deal with. I'll see you soon enough. Don't worry. I'm sure you know more about it than I do. After all, you were here last. The gardens of Issa, home of the Summer Fae, once spread from the forests of Dalentarth, across the plains of Erethel, and even through the deserts of Ditir. Between the madness of the war and the spread of man, Alfar, and Gnome, the Summer Fae lose a little more ground every day. A tragedy for them. The Winter Court, or the Unseelie, embrace the destruction and decay of nature. They aren't evil, but they aren't exactly the best of friends. Normally they share power peacefully with the Summer Court. But since the Tuatha have seized power, there is neither peace nor predictability. None of us could have foreseen the rise of Gadflow and his army, but we should have. And now we're all facing the price. I've heard tales of his work, half trickster, half spirit of vengeance. For a long time they were content to keep to their play of the summer and winter courts. Now we fight Gadflow and the Tuatha for our very existence. We've known for a long time that Prismere crystals allow us to store and focus magical power. The gnomes use it in their grander inventions, when they can get it. But we have no idea how Gadflow got a hold of so much of it. It makes his Tuatha the most dangerous army I've ever seen. That's where we'll find Gadflow, and where we'll put an end to this whole war. I hope you're ready, this time. He's a worm, but a useful one. Octian took quite a risk setting him up in Cluracan. Must have made a lot of deals to keep him safely hidden away. You haven't been around much, have you? The Tuatha have been pressing west from their home in Alabastra. Right now, they're only threatening my people. But if we fall, the Tuatha will turn their eyes to the other mortal races. I'll see you in Alabastra.
このお姉ちゃん相当でけえな。俺のキャラでもめっちゃでけえんだけどな、これ。普通の男性ぐらいは全然あるぐらいの高身長のはずなんだけど。これはもうこのまま行くしかねえよな。あとは新しい場所、OK。発見できた。さあ、問題は何？このキャンプ地に人がいるのかい？いないな。全滅しちゃったとかそういうノリなのかな。どうなんだろう。 それで前線基地があそこまで後退してるってことなのかな。おお、発注者いた。
By Lyria, it was you who stood against Baelor when Telera fell. Fortune favors me today. I am commander of the Ariad. Do you bring word of my reinforcements? The ash covering the ground ahead is all that remains of my men, all fallen in our assault on that pass. The Tuatha have built a gauntlet of spell-casting sentries who greeted our every advance with fire. It's just these Tuatha wage war like none I've known. Magical fires burning my men to a cinder with a word. But if you're brave enough to challenge them, we may have a chance. They're using the terrain against us, flanking the paths from above with sorcerers. If you can neutralize these sentries, I will charge the approach myself. Together we might be able to break their lines. The pass ahead is defended by a sorcerer on the overlook. See if you can find a path to his position and attack him from behind. If you can do this, I'll bring steel to the Tuatha line. We are called the eyes and ears of the Alfar, but the Ariad is more than that. We are the sword in the dark, the whisper of death. We serve Lyria and all her children. My men trained for years to be unleashed upon the Tuatha. Now, only I remain. I swear, before I too have fallen, winter will burn. Even after the Baelor was unleashed, I believed in Telera. She was the great general. I thought she would, in time, return from exile with our salvation. And so she did. Oh, to have been there, at her side, when she struck the demon down. When the Ariad chose me, I'd lost everything. My friends, my family, all consumed by war. We trained for years, preparing to take the battle to the Tuatha. Then our moment arrived, and in an instant, only I remained. Even if it means my last breath, I will see the Tuatha burn. I was a scout under Telera's command when Baelor was first unleashed upon us. I witnessed with these eyes what that beast did to our people. For what you have done, friend, you'll never have to buy your own ale. Until later, then.
まあ進行作戦手伝いって感じだね。うまくいってないんだね。両サイドに魔法使いがって言ってるけど、弓矢の力で射落とせねえか。どこだ？魔法使いがまだ検知できないけど、どこですかって感じ。クエスチョン。どうすりゃいいのかな。まずあそこに洞窟あるな。うわ、やっぱ邪魔がいるか。なるほど。こいつは勝てえな。さあ、なんかいい武器ゲットしたいよな。火力上げたいよな、ここらでな。オッケー。さあ、まあ、ここで一つ、寄れる場所が増えたな。ここぐらいは、やっとくか。なんだ。これは特に、いや、でも敵いないと思う。いるよね。そりゃそうだよ。いないなんて選択肢はないよ。ただ散歩してくれなんて。本当はギリギリ強えのが現れた時だけ召喚したいんだよね、仲間を。なんだけど呼ぶまでの時間がすげえ長えからさ、やっぱある程度前もって呼んどかないといけなくなっちゃうんだよね。全体に言えるけどね、動作の始まってからその結果が出るまでが鈍いんだね、このゲームね、全体に。 スパンといかないんだよね。こいつが1匹だけってのもおかしな動きだね。もっと集団でいそうだけど。いや、やっぱいたよ。本当あれね、拾いたい。敵がいようがいなかろうがね、まず拾わしてって感じなんだよね。だから拾えないからさ、なんかいつまでもさ、カチャカチャカチャカチャ押しててさ、単純に拾いミスなのかと思っててさ、反応悪いのかと思ってるとさ、敵いたりとかするからさ。こりゃどういうあれかな。まあ帰り道とか考えるとこっちが行くのが正解かな。この辺はそろそろ出てきそうだな。呼ぼう。紫か。できるだけ直線にしたいんだな、あいつを。2匹同時にやりたいんだよな。何があった？いや、お前か。いいおとりだ。オッケー。で、ここは何かあるの？なんかいるな。
It is unusual for anyone, especially those of mortal race, to venture down here. To travel so far from the glare of the surface. Perhaps you wish to learn how to become unseen? These caverns used to be dark and peaceful. I found a certain serenity in the absence of light. Now this place is aglow with these irritating crystals, and it is far too bright. I have had nothing to do with the Tuatha, and they have had nothing to do with me. I did not hide from them. They just never found me. It has always been in my nature to shy away from others in the world. I prefer to remain unseen. Farewell.
あともう一つ、この外人ゲームはさ、味方顔敵顔って下手くそだよね。眉間にしわ寄せてよう仲間だって言われてもなんかさこっちもなんか殺し合いのゲームやってたりとかするとさ、まず殺そうって考えてるところあるじゃないだからもうなんか現れた瞬間にどうやっつけようって考えてんのにさ、危ねえんだよ。味方顔だったらまあまあって思うんだけどさ、なんかその辺の書き分けっていうかさ、作り分けみたいのがやっぱ下手だよね。一匹ってことねえよな。君だけってことないだろ。いるんだろ。あとこのいきなり現れるのやっぱ多すぎだよね。あまりにもこういうのってほら効果的に使わないとさ、いきなりポンって現れる瞬間がしょっちゅうこういう風にさ、なんかもう当たり前のように出ちゃうとさ、なんか効果が薄くなるし、ちょっと面白みに欠けるよね。行き止まりの場所のところに仕込んであってパンと後ろから現れて行き場所を失うとかさ、なんかそういう面白さが結構重要だったりするじゃない。あれ向こう側行ったっけ？行ってないかもしれない。ちょっと見とこう。ああ、やっぱ行ってないの。 で、あとはなんだ、この奥か。プレミアムじゃねえ。プレスミアム。ということで、ここもなんか、単純に冒険しただけって感じかな。はい、でね、時間的にはもう区切り良さそうなんでね、今回はここまでということで、よかったらまた次回も見に来てください。チャンネル登録、そして良ければいいねボタンの方もぜひよろしくお願いします。さあ、で、この先もこんな感じで進めていきましょう。というわけで、それじゃあまた会おうぜ。